This is the easiest workshop guide in history. Start with the dart monkey right there in that corner. You want the vertical red line to be as high as possible, so as straight as possible. Put it on strong. Another dart monkey right there. Line up the tip of the dart monkey's hair with that vertical line. Set that one to strong. Another dart monkey right next to the rotational crankshaft. Right there. Leave that last dart monkey on first, and what should happen is it should snipe 2 reds at the start of round 6. If that occurs, then you know you have the right placements. And you can proceed. If he doesn't snipe, you obviously are going to lose. Just try again. These placements aren't too difficult, but they might take a bit of practice. During round 8, turn off auto start because we need to place RNG down. At the end of round 8, get an NG on the other side of that shaft. You want to place it right there, as low as you possibly can. The low matters a little bit, so I recommend taking your time. Make sure it's as low as possible. Get larger surface area at the end of round 9 and then set the NG to last. So for round 10, what we want to do is slow it down as soon as you see that final rush of blues. And then set the NG to first whenever a red balloon gets past the NG or to his body. And that should, as long as you time it right, you will beat round 10 every single time. After that, just set the NG back to first again, and you're good for 11. Get oversized nails at the end of 11. Then pin at the end of 12. Round 10 honestly might be the hardest round of this entire run, and it's super easy and 0 RNG. "14 usually gets very, very close every single time, but you never lose to it unless you get really bad RNG, wherein the NG will just completely miss the yellows. At the end of 14, get double gun before 15, very important. But yeah, the 14 yellow missing RNG does not happen very often. So subscribe to me because I made this start completely by myself. Usually I just steal starts from other YouTubers, but I had to make this one completely by myself. At the end of 17, get a Zealy, place her above the NG right there, set her to strong. The normal start on this map is a ninja start, but that doesn't work as of update 38 because they changed ninja discipline. Before 19, activate the reverse motor for free. Very, very, very important, because 19 has pinks and they just destroy you without the reverse motor. At the end of 21, get a Spectre right there at the end, and then set your NG to last. It's very important to set the NG to last because less stuff leaks that way, and you have no RNG on 22. At the end of 24, get bigger stacks on the Spectre. And at this point you can turn auto start on. The kind of difficult, not really difficult, but just belabored early game is over. And if you made it this far, you should beat the entire map with no problem as long as you do everything that I do. So get faster production mid 27. During 29, 30, doesn't really matter, place a druid right there next to your first dart monkey, and then just begin upgrading it to a Druid of the Jungle, one of my favourite towers. As you would know if you've seen any of my other guides, I use this guy on pretty much every Chimps run because it's just too good. Get Druid of the Jungle, and then Hard Thorns mid 32. And now we just go back to upgrading the Spectre. We really only need the Druid for round 36 because that first rush of pinks is just way too strong. Get even faster production on the Spectre mid 34. And before 36, just set your NG to first. This is totally unnecessary, but it just makes the round less close. Sometimes on 36, if you have the NG set to last, some of the pinks sneak past and destroy a lot of your spikes, but you never lose to it, so don't worry about it. Get spiked balls mid 37. And obviously that's going to be the upgrade that lets us destroy the Moab on round 40. So after you get your spiked balls, get an Alk. Place it next to your Spactory, obviously. During 39, auto start off, because we need to do some stuff before 40, just to beat that Moab, because it's pretty pesky on this map. Make that Alk a 220, don't worry. Make it a 320 before round 40, at the end of 39, then activate the track extension for free at the end of 39. And the Moab goes down super easily, because the buffed Spactory is kinda nice. At this point you can turn auto start back on. The only thing you need to do in the next few rounds is just buy stronger stim at the start of 42. And it's AFK for the next 5 or so rounds. So I want to talk about the key to this map, and that's Pierce. And I want to tell you guys how I came to that conclusion. So the vertical track is very short, obviously as you can see it's very short, and all the Moabs, including the round 100 bad, take that extremely short track. And so what we need to do is use towers that have very high pierce and very high damage to make sure that we can kill the Moabs fast enough in the late 90s. And so that's why you're going to see us use Balloon Solver and Archmage. Before 47 starts, activate track extension, so auto start off during 46. .48 is a long round, but very easy, no problems at all. And it gives you a lot of cash too, so that's super nice, because at the end of this round we can get spiked mines. So get spiked mines at the end of 48. Awesome. And you can set your NG to last if you want, it doesn't matter, it literally doesn't mean anything at this point. But yeah, I'll just set it to last to take advantage of that massive 8 pierce, because that's just too nice. At the end of 49, get a wizard, yep, a wizard, place it right there to the left, as bottom left as you can above that workbench, and then another wizard to the right of the first one, again as low as possible. They should be about parallel horizontally, so just make sure they look about like that. Then get a village, place it above those two wizards, as bottom left as possible. The placement isn't really difficult at all, so really anywhere bottom left is fine. Give it the discount upgrades, and then upgrade that left wizard to a 202. So this left wizard is going to be our Necromancer, and he's kind of going to be a mid-game carry. Upgraded to Shimmer at the end of 50. The Necromancer at the end of 51. So Necromancer and Azili have really good synergy, because at level 11 she gives Necromancers 50% extra pierce to the undead balloons, which is quite strong. At the end of 53, another village right there. Make sure it's in discount range, of course, and that it has the other village in range of it. Give the discount upgrades, then give the right village bigger radius, and hit play for 54. .55, target your Necromancer to the horizontal track, so right there. Not necessary, but I recommend it just to prevent any bad RNG. I've never lost to 55, but I assume if you have horrendously bad RNG, you probably can. At the end of 55, retarget it to the normal spot so it sends balloons down both tracks. And then get a heli as high as you can in range of that right village. Upgrade it to 003, then 013 mid-round, and lock it in place right there. Lock it in place right where the vertical and horizontal tracks meet. Then get jungle drums on your village, the right village of course. And at this point you can turn auto start back on. There's nothing you need to do from now to 63. During 62, turn off auto start. Before 63, move the heli away for a little bit. Then retarget your necromancer to right there, so just to the horizontal track. Then get a glue gunner and place it as bottom right as humanly possible in that corner. You really want to emphasize that you place it as low as you possibly can. This really does help for the final 10 rounds. Upgrade the glue to a 410, then activate the track extensions. Then lock your heli in the normal place again. We just moved it so we could see the glue gunner placement better. And that's all you need to do for 63. It should get about that close every time, but I've never lost to 63 with this setup, and you should not either. Before 64, retarget the necromancer to the normal spot again, so it can see both tracks. And then Moab Hex for 64. Not necessary, but I like to do it. You can turn auto start back on because it's AFK for about 6 rounds. You can use Moab Hex if you like for these next few rounds, but they're completely unnecessary, and all it does is pad Azelia's stats, which we actually do a decent amount of in this run. I think Azelia gets 500k pops on this run, but you can get her to like 350k and still beat the map, so anyhow. During 70, turn off auto start, because we want to keep it off for the next few rounds. We have to do a bit of stuff, but not much really. 71. Moab Hex as soon as the Moabs come out of the top track. Not necessary at all, but if you don't Moab Hex, it gets close every time, but you never lose to it. So that's just another example of Azelia stat padding. Recommended, but completely unnecessary. For 73, it's really simple. Just activate the reverse motor, and then target your necromancer to the top track only, and that's it. For the most part, you can beat 73 without doing either of those things, but there is sometimes some RNG, and we love to avoid that on this channel, so thus the retargeting the necromancer and the reverse motor. At the end of 73, retarget it to the normal spot. You probably don't have to, you can just leave it there for the next couple rounds, honestly. Just leave it for the vertical track, but yeah. So as you're about to see, this run is kind of perfectly crafted. It's just a perfect run, honestly, it's genius. Not even gonna lie. Is it arrogance if it's truth? That is the question. Anyhow, for 75 what you want to do is use Moab Hex as soon as that first BFB starts getting pushed back by the Moab shove, and what that will do is destroy the first 3 BFBs that come out and give the factory enough time to get enough spikes down. Obviously before 76, get the one and only Balloon Solver, then Splatter at the end of 76, And at this point you can turn auto start back on because, yeah, it's Jova. Get primary training on that right village. Very, very, very helpful for your balloon solver. Get an ALK, place it above your balloon solver, it should be in double discount range. Make it 320. Again, make sure it's as close to the solver as possible, we do not want Azili stealing the buff. After you have your 320 ALK, start upgrading that right wizard to a 302 Arcane Spike. Or whatever it's called, Arcane Blast. Arcane Spike's the tier 4. So all you have to do from now until 85 is grade 2 Arcane Spike when you can afford it. Round 80. Hex the ZOMG. During 84, turn off auto start. We just want to keep it off for these next 5 or so rounds. Actually the rest of the way, even though you don't actually have to. But anyway, before 85, Necromancer targeting the top track only. And then Moab Hex immediately at the start of the round. Try and do this as early as possible, it's just going to make the next 3 rounds a lot easier. For 86, put your Arcane Spike to first, just to lengthen the round time a little bit. And set it back to strong for 87. 87, what you want to do, Moab Hex as soon as you see a ZOMG come out. This Moab Hex can actually destroy all 4 ZOMGs, but usually one will remain, but that's okay because we can destroy it, no problem. You have to set the Arcane Spike back to first. A little bit annoying, but it's definitely worth it because it's just so easy, this entire run. 88, use Moab Hex immediately for those ZOMGs, and they go down very, very fast. And if you've made it this far, then you have 100% won. It's unlosable from now as long as you do exactly what I do. And there's not much to do, honestly. Before 90, get IFR so the heli can knock back DDTs. It's actually completely unnecessary, but yeah, I like to get it because it's a cool thing that it can do to knock back DDTs. So 91, what you want to do is get Archmage mid-round and then set it to strong. Very important. And so Archmage is our main DPS, and Solver is our cleanup. 92, you can Moab Hex if you'd like, but it's completely unnecessary. The ZOMGs will get destroyed by Archmage, so no point really. Other than Azili stat padding. At the end of 92, make your left ALK a 420 and make that right village a 420 as well, so get primary mentoring on it. Both of those upgrades are very, very important. Extremely, extremely important for round 96. At the end of 93, get a mortar, place it right there, in range of that village of course. Target it to just below the kind of darkened shadow bit where the ZOMGs come out of. 94, you can use Moab Hex again, totally unnecessary, but we're just Azili stat padding. The only round you need Moab Hex for is 98, of course, and you will see this is the easiest 98 of all time. It's utter destruction. Get Shattering Shells mid 96. We won't be using Moab Hex for 96 or 97 because it just does not cool down fast enough, and we don't really need it anyway, so yeah. '97, what you want to do is Activate the track extensions when the Moabs get to the horizontal path. The ZOMGs get to the horizontal path. And then 98, you literally have to do nothing except Moab Hex as soon as you see a ZOMG come out. So pretty much at the start of the round, and look at that destruction. Unreal. The easiest round 98 of all time. The hardest chimps round just got completely murked. Yeah, Moab Hex is insanely busted. Before 99, activate both the track extensions and the reverse track, simply because we can afford it. It's unnecessary to do both, but yeah, just do both because why not? Round 100 is really simple. Azalea level 20. Moab Hex as soon as the Archmage starts attacking, and it's Jova. Look at that. Unbelievable destruction. The easiest workshop chimps in history. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I kind of cooked on this map, I'm not going to lie. I went hardcore. So yeah, sub, because not even because I went hardcore, but just because I made this start by myself. And yeah, just look at Boon Solver and Azalea with 500k damage, kind of nice.